What's going on, everyone? In this video, I'm going to share with you what my audio and video setup is on my videos here, both for me internally, also for clients as well, so stay tuned. So first and foremost, what you're listening through the audio right now is the Shure SM7B. You've probably have seen this microphone on podcasts like Joe Rogan, as well as just some other famous podcasters across YouTube. This microphone is called a dynamic microphone, so it's actually meant for me to speak really closely into this microphone and kind of elude or eliminate any outside sounds. So that is actually called a condenser microphone, which is able to capture a lot more of the outside noise and a lot more of the details. But the reason why I got this mic specifically is because my apartment and my house is pretty loud sometimes, and I need to be able to record good audio despite, the room next to me being fairly loud, or my mom working upstairs fairly loud. And so this mic is pretty awesome. It's on the more expensive side of things. I believe this mic runs close to around $350 to $400. They also just released like a cheaper version of this one, which is USB and auxiliary. That's called the MP7. I'll have to confirm with you here. But this is a really solid mic. This is as good as it gets for podcasting and video. So if you're willing to make the investment, I definitely advise that you invest in something like this, because audio quality is something that that not a lot of people think of, but it does make the quality of your production that much more better because it sounds crisp, it sounds professional. So taking a couple $100s and investing it in a mic right here can really make the difference in your videos. What's part of this audio setup as well is, I'll have a close-up here, the cloud lifter. So part of this microphone, I actually have to plug it into one of these called the cloud lifter, which for the most part, it just amplifies the sound. And what I mean by that is I actually just picked this up this weekend, and the audio must sound a lot clearer, a lot louder. The issue is this plugged in directly to my Focusrite, which we'll cover in just a second, is that it needs more gain, it needs more power. I was actually all the way up with the gain here, and we'll talk about gain a little bit more, and I was still quiet. And so if you decide to pick up one of these, of course you don't need the cloud lifter per se, but it definitely helps in giving you some more variety and more to play with when it comes to gain. And what do I mean by gain? I think gain really just means how much audio I'm willing to let into the mic. You might have heard of this saying called clipping audio or redlining audio, and that pretty much just means that I'm too loud for the mic that's absorbing these waves. And so if I turn up the gain just a little bit, you'll notice that you'll hear me a little bit distorted. You hear me more clearly. You might hear my mom talking upstairs, but if I lower the gain just right about here, it sounds just about right. And the cloud lifter here allows me to have more room to play with the gain. So before I was all or nothing. Now I have more to play with. So I highly recommend picking up the cloud lifter. If you decide to pick up the Shure SM7B, this will run you about $150, but they had some package deals with some aux or some XLR cords as well. So feel free to pick it up. The next thing that I have here, and I'll show you on B-roll, is my Focusrite, my Scarlett 2i2. This is pretty much the control board, the control dashboard that handles all of my audio settings. So when you just heard me play around with the gain right before, when I was showing you the cloud lifter here, I am able to manage that through my Scarlett 2i2. So this is a preamplifier. So this red box connects to my computer. So the way my audio sets up is I have my Shure, right? I have an XLR cord that goes all the way down into the cloud lifter. From the cloud lifter, I have another end of an XLR cord that goes right back into my Scarlett Focusrite 2i2, which I'm able to control the gain. I actually have another port here for another mic, and I'm able to adjust my audio volumes as well. In addition, I'm using a pair of using a pair of Soul Republic headphones that I can actually just plug in right into the Scarlett 2i2, so I can basically hear myself talking as I'm recording to make sure I'm not clipping audio. It sounds good, it sounds great, and that's it for the most part. I mean, again, a lot of people tend to default to like Yetis, Blue Yetis, and I think they're great microphones to start. Obviously, this is really expensive. Not everyone has $300 to $400, let alone let's consider everything involved, right? This is about $400. The Cloud Lifter is about $150. This is about another $100 to $150, and that's just on audio equipment alone. So you're probably looking at a range from like $500 to $600 if you're gonna pick up one of these. I'll have the link down below with some of my affiliates, but you definitely will be spending at least $500 to $600, including whatever additional accessories that you want, a pop filter, a mic stand, anything else that you feel would be valuable for you. But I think it's a really good investment. I think audio quality is what separates really good productions and maybe just the bare minimum of productions, right? And so being able to capture good audio at your home, on location, with clients is really important, and I'm telling you, it will make your production and the quality of the videos that you work so hard to create sound much better. So if I have any advice for someone, I think there's a lot of people that have this mic, but I want you to really understand that if you're willing to put a couple $100 to pick up this bad boy, that you might as well do things right and pick up the Cloud Lifter. I just got the Cloud Lifter this past week, and I'm seeing such an improvement in the audio quality. I don't even know how I was able to use this for so long without it. So that's my audio setup for podcasts, for videos, for interviews, for any of my video series. What I have here also is my purple Panda lavalier microphone. So you might have seen me in some of my external videos recording on a lavalier microphone, and so I'll pick that up later. But what this is it's a microphone that I plug onto myself, and I plug the other end. I actually just plug it right back into my phone. So this allows me to record decent audio when I'm not in my home with access to this podcast and mic setup. So this allows me to capture decent audio directly from my phone, and as you can see here, it's plugged in right through a a lightning port directly into my phone. And so a lavalier mic is usually used on location, for exterior locations, sometimes for interviews when we don't have a boom mic accessible. And this one is really nice because I got it on Amazon for about $45-50, and it has pretty good sound quality given the price and how fast I was able to get it. And again, I think this isn't going to be anywhere near as good as the Shure microphone audio, but capturing good audio is better than just relying on maybe the camera and the audio on the microphone on your phone. I'm not saying that the iPhone doesn't have a good setup, but what I'm here to say is that having a way to capture audio is better than relying on the stock microphone of your phone. And last but not least, if you've seen me or if you've seen the Walk and Talk podcast with Bruno and I, we actually use our iPhones to record. And I feel like if you're in a setting that is not too loud and accessible, using the stock microphone at the bottom of your phone, basically hitting record and talking to the bottom of your phone, will actually comprise of some good audio as well. So if you're ever in an instance where you need to capture good audio, I did a video on the beach a couple weeks ago. I did not have my lavalier microphone, unfortunately. I didn't have my Shure microphone, but Bruno was able to record me externally, and I was actually able to talk in the bottom of my phone and capture decent audio. So if I have any tips for any filmmakers, for any agency owners, for anyone creating content out there, is to prioritize sound equipment. If you invest a little bit of money and time in getting a good sound setup, I promise you that people will respect and start to notice an improvement in your content, and it's just you taking that extra level to capture good audio. And tip number 2, just because you don't have access or funds to this doesn't mean that you can't invest and take baby steps to this as your end goal. Start with a lavalier microphone for $40. Start by talking at the bottom of your iPhone. In addition, using the plug, the wired headphones are even better. So if there's any advice that I have, wired audio tends to sound better. If you can't and you don't have the funds for some of these larger ticket items, use a lavalier microphone, use the stock wired Apple headphones. They're solid, and you'll start to notice an improvement in your video and audio quality. So don't give up on audio, prioritize audio. It'll definitely help and make you look better. And again, if you have $500 that you are willing to invest, again, you have to look at this as an investment. If you want to be a content creator, if you want to produce good content, if you want people to look at you and build credibility in your industry, pick up one of these. Again, all you really need is the Shure, a cloud lifter, a Focusrite, and just the ability to learn how to maneuver audio and all of this equipment. It'll make your content stand out. So I hope you guys found value in this video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.